Hi everybody, this is Mr. Beckstrom, and today we're actually going to use Excel to create a scatter plot, and then we're going to use that scatter plot to see if we think we have a linear correlation, and then to kind of gauge to see whether it's a strong or a weak linear correlation, and to see if it's a positive or a negative linear correlation. And then we're going to talk about that and see if we think that it's just a correlation or whether there's a causation going on here. So let's talk about it here. So let's say that we found 10 people and we asked them how tall they were in inches. So we asked them their height, and we also asked them their weight in pounds. Their weight in pounds. All right. So out of these 10 people, this was their height in inches. So we had 71 inches, we had 73 inches, and let's say these were all males as well. We had 68 inches, another 68 inches, a 70 inches, a 65 inches, a 73 inches, a 68 inches, a 70 inches, a 67 inches. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and then for the weights, we had a 173, we had a 182, we had a 165, we had a 168, we had a 183, a 158, 184, we had like a 171, we had a 181, and we had let's say a 157. So here were our heights of the 10 males that we randomly selected, and here were their weights of the 10 males that we randomly selected. So we can see that there wasn't much of a variance here. They were all between about 5'7" and about 6'1", and they were all between around 157 pounds, and it looks like between 183 pounds. All right, so how would we use Excel to go ahead and create this scatter plot for us, and then how would we find a line of best fit, and then gauge whether or not there was a linear correlation and talk about that linear correlation. All right, so what I would do is I first want to highlight all of these values here. You can either use your left drag to drag it over the values, or you can select the first one, hold your shift key, and then select the last one, and it'll highlight them as well. So something like that. You just want to make sure they're all highlighted like this. And then we're going to go to the Insert tab at the top. And I'm going to go over to where it says, it should say recommended charts over here on my version. You should have something that says charts over there, and you should have little charts over here as well. You might want to find one that looks like a scatter plot there, but you can also click here. And my first one here is a scatter plot like this, so I'm going to hit OK. And this is what mine looks like right there. So notice that I have a lot of the same heights and different weights here. So I'm going to kind of expand mine out a little bit here, make it a little bit bigger. And let's go ahead and label mine up a little bit so I can add some titles to it. So down here, this is my weight on the bottom. Excuse me, this is my height down here on the bottom. Over here on the side, that is my weight. And I can always put parentheses in pounds. And I could probably do that here as well. My height, and just so my readers have no problem understanding what I'm doing here. And my chart title, and I could say is there a relationship between, I'll probably keep things capitalized since it's a title, is there a relationship between weight and height? Oops, GHT, something like this. And then here's my points, and then I can also come over here. I can add what's called a trend line, and a trend line is going to be that line of best fit that kind of goes through there, and it's going to be the line that's going to be closest to those points. And we can see here that this line is not too far off of those points right there. We can get it decently close to those points. And we can see that it's going from lower left to upper right, so that is a positive slope, which means a positive correlation. And that means that as the height increases of somebody, that means also the weight is increasing, and vice versa. As somebody's height decreases, that their weight on average decreases, which makes sense, right? And so when we talk about a cause-effect relationship, I think that we could use common sense there, right? That taller people are generally going to weigh more than shorter people. That we can definitely see that there's going to be, on average, a cause-effect relationship there. That it's not going to be true for every case. We're absolutely going to be able to find, a male that's 5'6" that weighs more than a male that's 6'1", absolutely. But if we're looking at the average male that's 5'6", we certainly expect that average male to weigh less than the average male who is 6'1". And we can see that through these lines of best fit, or trend lines here. And so this is how we kind of go through this entire process. So we graph our values, we insert the graph. It uses these values here, and we can kind of add in these axis titles and put the line in. I would say this is a relatively strong correlation. These points aren't too far away from the line. Some of these points are real close. These points are a little bit farther away, but they're still close enough that if we were to go into a statistics class, a 152 type class, and we were to find the R value, which is a value between -1 and +1, I feel that we would find a value that would be pretty close to +1, maybe around 0.8, somewhere around there, which would give us a pretty strong linear correlation. So anyways, I hope this helps, and I hope that you can use this maybe in a future project when you're talking about maybe relationships between two different things. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks.